Monkeypox and medicine Sarracenia purpurea. The purpose of knowledge shared here is only educational and to increase awareness. Please always consult your doctor before taking any medicine. Self-treatment may always be injurious. कोविड-19 की तरह मंकीपॉक्स भी आ सकती है। यदि हम सावधान व सतर्क रहें तो मंकीपॉक्स से बच सकते हैं। आइए जानें कि मंकीपॉक्स नामक बीमारी में दवा सैरासीनिया कब उपयोगी है। Dose for prevention and cure of monkeypox is suggested at the end. बचाव व इलाज के लिए दवा की मात्रा और पोटेंसी अंत में बताई गई है। When to use Sarracenia in monkeypox? Sarracenia has great power to antidote the smallpox and monkeypox poison, backache, headache, and gastric disturbance. A woman far advanced in pregnancy was cured of smallpox with Sarracenia 3, 6, and 9, delivery being happily accomplished during her convalescence, the infant bearing on its body numerous red blotches indicating that it had been affected with the disease. An infant a few months old was attacked with a grave form of smallpox with variolous angina, so severe that it was with difficulty it could take the breast. The mother took Sarracenia 3, 6, and 9 and continued to nurse the infant, which promptly recovered, the mother not taking the disease. In an epidemic occurring in the environs of Purpurea, Sarracenia was given to the thousands persons living in the very middle of the disease and coming in constant intercourse with it, but all who took Sarracenia escaped. During the same epidemic, 200 cases were treated with Sarracenia without a death. Confluent cases. Throughout the disease, patients are perfectly sensible, have had excellent appetites, been free from pain, and have never felt weak. Sarracenia arrests the development of the pustules, killing the virus from within, changing the character of the disease, and doing away with pitting. Sarracenia has cured disordered vision, phlegmon herpes, extreme lassitude and pains in the bones. The right side more affected than the left. Sensations of light feeling in head, sensation as if received a knock on the head, sensation as if head were split, left eye as if congested, heat in face as if on fire, swelling in womb as if from a tumor or dropsy, uterus swollen as if full of cysts, sensation as if bones of leg were too thick. Sarracenia has the empty, hungry, sinking sensation of the antipsorics, dryness of mouth and throat, weak feeling in the arms, very sensitive to cold air, faint after stool. There is vesical and rectal tenesmus. Stool smells of musk. The symptoms were worse about midnight and 3 p.m., worse in morning, worse rising from lying, worse trying to walk, worse in stormy weather. Open air causes chilliness, hands and feet cold, causes head to be hot and sore and feet full. Cold air causes to feel chilly and aggravates bone pains, symptoms generally ameliorated in fresh air and better out of bed. Melancholia, anxious about everything, paralysis of hearing and smell, sweats freely, vertigo with cramps in neck spreading to forehead, worse at night, stupor and staggering gait, obliged to support himself or lie down, with drowsiness in the head and contractions in spinal column, fetid smell from nose, epistaxis nearly producing fainting, fluent coryza with cold chills and loss of smell, foul smelling green, yellowish or bloody discharges, nose swollen, red with pressure and pulsation at root, face flushed, heat and redness of face, face pale with heat and chill alternating, intense neuralgic pains from temples to jaws, tongue dry coated brownish white, mouth dry, lips and mouth parched, toothache at night in bed from least contact and cold air, throat dry, not better by tea or water, barborigme, hungry all the time, even after a meal, glycosuria, diabetes, appetite unusually active, but there was a sense of pain about the stomach like that after inflammation or of overtaxed muscle, little appetite, but what is eaten agrees, great desire to sleep during eating, empty hungry feeling, for he can keep nothing in his stomach. After going to bed, whole abdominal region was in commotion, extending along ascending and descending column, all in a kind of rolling motion, epigastrium sensitive to pressure, transient pains in bowels, bloated about navel, barborigme and some pain in bowels with constipation, dry throat, much flatus, first part of stool natural, last diarrhea, much tenesmus, dysenteric diarrhea, stool at first castive, then dark offensive soluble, castive, stools very hard, covered with mucus and dark, stool copious, dark, fetid, evacuated with great straining in morning, rectum and anus swollen and inflamed, morning diarrhea, faint after stool, which is dark, often mixed with blood, foul smelling or smelling of musk, bloatedness with colic, awoke 3 a.m. with urging to urinate, bladder so full it overcame resistance of sphincter and dribbled away, urine phosphatic, urine scanty, limpid, watery or milky leucorrhea, foul smelling with spasmodic pains in uterus, pulsative pains in womb with swelling as if from a tumor or dropsy, uterus swollen as if full of cysts, especially right side, cervix swollen hot, miliary eruption and heat in vulva, bloody discharge at other times than menstrual period as during climaxes, phthisispulmonalis and bronchial affections, joined to or depending on a psoric state, hemoptysis, thick cough, continual tickling in larynx and bronchi, cough with desire to vomit and vomiting paroxysms of suffocation and epistaxis, hard cough, shaking chest and bowels and stopping only after expectorating a quantity of compact mucus, tenacious, filamentary, with a bitter putrid oily taste, pains in third and fourth ribs with great apprehension of heart disease, pain in angle of ribs, soreness of pectoralis major, feeling of congestion about head, with irregularity of heart section, congestion of chest, heavy feeling about heart, slight palpitation in morning, pulse full and strong, general malaise, pulse small, quick, a pain up right trapezius muscle with wave-like motion, warm sensation passed up back into head, weak between and below shoulders, back weak, wants to lean on something, arms and back tired and sore all over, deep-seated pain in back, fixed pains in small of back, heat in whole right lumbar region, pain in cervical and lumbar vertebrae, pain and soreness in sacrum, limbs cold when still as from deficient circulation, limbs easily benumbed, weakness of limbs with paralytic debility, pains and soreness in diaphysis of all long bones, worse humerus, especially left, pain in left carpus and tarsus, paroxysm of pain in right shoulder joint, pain in left carpus and tarsus, face flushed, arms feel weak, bruised feeling from shoulders to hands, aching sore pain in left humerus, bones in both arms pain, pain in hip joints worse rising to feet from a lying posture, paroxysms of weakness in coxofemoral joint with pains of luxation and fear of failing when beginning to walk, strange lameness in femur, lower third, worse in inner condyle, pain in condyles of femur, wave-like motion in muscles of femur, sensation of fatigue in bones of leg as if they were too thick, bruised and luxated feeling in joints, pain in right patella and metatarsal bones, knees feel weak, bruised pain in knees as after a fall, he falls easily on his knees, bone pains in tibia and fibula, intermittent but bones continually sore, bones of feet inflamed, nodes as in gout, generalities, debility, heavy, languid, dull, heavy, sore feeling in all bones, phlegmonous swelling with a rosy tint on various parts, unrefreshed though slept soundly, flectanoid herpes, psoriasis, scrofulous eruptions, variola and monkeypox, Sarracenia 6 and 12 taken when eruption is out and beginning to postulate, aborts secondary fever and prevents spitting, eruption out, pustules dissipate, first on face, fever lessens, urine though scanty and dark becomes abundant and pale, strength returns, eruptions similar to crustalactea on forehead and hands, papular eruptions changing to vesicular with the depression as in smallpox lasting from 7 to 8 days, sleepy in daytime, sleep disturbed by strange and frightful dreams, awakes early, 3, 4 or 5, in a fright with urging to urinate, feverish and shaking chills, worse morning, general chills between shoulder blades, chills, heat and sweat 5 p.m. At 2 p.m. very chilly in open air, skin hot and dry, hands hot, warm all over, head and body warm, perspires freely. Dose Sarracenia 6, 12 and 30, 1 drop every 3 hours for treatment. 1 drop twice daily, morning and evening for prevention, or as advised by your doctor. Thank you.